Once upon a time, in the vast and vibrant savannas of Africa, there was a majestic lion named Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa was not just any lion, he was the king of the great savannah, known far and wide for his strength, courage, and wisdom. His roar could be heard across the plains, and his presence commanded respect from all the creatures of the land. However, Kwanzaa harbored a deep secret, one that could threaten his reign if ever discovered. Kwanzaa's secret was hidden in a secluded part of the savannah, a place only he knew about. It was a small, magical cave behind a waterfall, concealed by thick vines and towering trees. Inside this cave was a hidden treasure that gave Kwanzaa his extraordinary power and wisdom, an ancient, enchanted crown that had been passed down from lion to lion for generations. This crown was the source of Kwanzaa's strength, but if it ever fell into the wrong hands, the balance of the savannah would be disrupted, and chaos would ensue. One hot afternoon, as the sun blazed in the sky, Kwanzaa decided to visit his secret cave to ensure the crown was safe. Unbeknownst to him, a cunning hyena named Muka had been spying on him for months, curious about the lion's frequent disappearances. Muka was known for his devious nature and longed to overthrow Kwanzaa and become the ruler of the savannah. He believed that by uncovering Kwanzaa's secret, he could achieve his ambition. Muka followed Kwanzaa at a distance, keeping to the shadows and using his keen senses to avoid detection. As Kwanzaa reached the waterfall and slipped behind the cascading water into the cave, Muka watched intently. Once Kwanzaa was inside, Muka stealthily approached the entrance, careful not to make a sound. He peered through the vines and saw the magnificent crown resting on a stone pedestal, its golden surface gleaming in the dim light. Muka's eyes widened with greed, and he quickly devised a plan to steal the crown. He waited until Kwanzaa left the cave, then slipped inside and snatched the crown from its pedestal. The moment he touched the crown, he felt a surge of power coursing through his veins. With the crown in his possession, Muka was confident that he could challenge Kwanzaa and seize control of the savannah. That night, as the animals gathered at the waterhole to drink and share stories, Muka appeared with the crown atop his head. The other animals gasped in shock and confusion. How could a hyena possess the lion's sacred crown? "Behold, my fellow creatures," Muka declared, his voice filled with arrogance. "I have discovered the source of Kwanzaa's power. With this crown, I am now the rightful ruler of the savannah." The animals murmured among themselves, uncertain of what to do. They had always respected Kwanzaa, but the sight of the crown on Muka's head made them question everything they knew. Kwanzaa arrived at the waterhole, his heart sinking as he saw Muka with the crown. He knew that without the crown, his strength and wisdom would fade, and he would be unable to protect his kingdom. "Muka, you have no right to that crown," Kwanzaa roared, his voice trembling with anger. "Return it at once, or face the consequences." Muka laughed mockingly. "You are no longer the king, Kwanzaa. The crown belongs to me now. If you want it back, you will have to defeat me." Kwanzaa's strength was already waning, and he knew he could not fight Muka head-on. He needed to find another way to reclaim the crown and restore order to the savannah. As he pondered his next move, a tiny voice spoke up from the grass. "Great Kwanzaa, I may be small, but I wish to help," said a brave little ant named Nia. Nia was known for her courage and determination despite her size. She had always admired Kwanzaa and wanted to aid him in his time of need. Kwanzaa looked down at Nia, touched by her offer. "Thank you, Nia. But what can you do? Muka is powerful now, and the crown is out of reach." Nia's eyes sparkled with determination. "I may be small, but I am not without skills. Allow me to try. Sometimes, the smallest creatures can achieve the greatest things." Kwanzaa nodded, hoping that Nia's bravery could make a difference. Nia gathered a group of her fellow ants and devised a plan. That night, as Muka slept, drunk with power and overconfidence, Nia and her team quietly crawled up to the crown. With meticulous precision, they began to gnaw at the delicate straps that held the crown on Zuka's head. The hyena, lost in dreams of his newfound rule, did not notice the tiny ants working tirelessly to undermine his authority. Inch by inch, the straps weakened until, at last, the crown slipped from Zuka's head and fell softly to the ground. Nia and her team quickly carried the crown back to Kwanzaa, their tiny legs moving with incredible speed. Kwanzaa's heart swelled with gratitude as he saw the crown being returned to him. He placed it upon his head, feeling the familiar surge of power and wisdom flow through him once more. The following morning, as the animals gathered at the waterhole, Kwanzaa stood tall and proud, the crown gleaming on his head. Mzuka awoke to find his head bare and his strength gone. He looked around in panic, realizing that his brief reign had ended. Kwanzaa addressed the animals, his voice filled with authority. "My fellow creatures, the rightful balance has been restored. Mzuka's treachery has been undone, thanks to the bravery and determination of Nia and her fellow ants. Let this be a lesson to us all that true strength comes not from power alone but from the courage and unity of our hearts." The animals cheered and celebrated the return of their beloved king. Mzuka, humiliated and defeated, slunk away into the shadows, vowing never to challenge Kwanzaa again. From that day forward, Nia was hailed as a hero throughout the savannah. Her bravery and cunning had saved the kingdom from chaos, proving that even the smallest creatures could make a tremendous impact. Kwanzaa ruled with renewed wisdom and strength, always remembering the lesson he had learned, that the true power of a king lay not in a crown, but in the loyalty and bravery of his subjects. And so, the savannah thrived under Kwanzaa's just rule, and the story of the lion's secret and the bravery of the ant was passed down through generations, inspiring all who heard it to believe in the power of courage, unity, and the indomitable spirit of even the tiniest heroes.